what's going on? We missed a vlog last week. I just kind of lost track of where everything was. So it's got 2 weeks to kind of recap here. So first of all, we're 5 weeks and 5 days out from the Arnold Classic USA. Super heavyweight amateurs. So last weekend, for those who haven't been keeping up with my stories on Instagram, that was pretty tough mentally. Flat out, I did not want to be on prep anymore. It didn't cause me to fall off the plan. It didn't cause me to cheat or to not do my cardio or whatever. I still did everything, just ticked all the boxes. But it was hard just kind of getting through that mental barrier. But you go through struggles like that, and that's going to happen to everyone at some point. You know, you can't stay motivated 24/7, especially when you've been dieting for this long, regardless of how big the show is. Trust me, like that's not that doesn't come into as a factor. Yeah, I'm totally aware the show is a big show, but if at the time, if you don't want to do something, you know, your body's and your mind's going to tell you that you don't want to do something. It doesn't matter how big it is. So, but I worked through it. Kind of woke up on Monday morning feeling a lot better about things, and then motivation kind of teetered and dipped throughout the week. But we got back on track, and we kind of mentally, everything was still fine physically. And yeah, feel good today. Even though it's a rest day today, and rest days are obviously very low in food. Regardless, I still feel really good. So that's kind of recap the past kind of 2 weeks. In terms of the physique, I say the physique is where it needs to be. I went and saw Nick yesterday in person, and which I'm doing every week. And yeah, he gave me some good kind of feedback into where my physique is, where it's going to be, where we think it's going to be. The good thing about working with Nick for so long is that, you know, we could almost predict where my body's going, which is the main thing. You know, there's so many things that are going on within the human body that you can't control that you know, that doesn't always pan out that way. So as long as we can do the things that we know we're doing, you know, keeping nutrition on point, cardio on point, ensuring that every training session is nails, then that's what all you can do. That's the variables you can control. Everything outside of that, in terms of your body's own mechanics and whatnot, are kind of not within your control. So we just have to make sure that all our variables are there and at 100%. Things are getting quite tough now in terms of the diet, but like I said, the motivation's there to kind of carry through. So if I think about it, I mean, we're due to fly to Ohio 5 days out, which is a Sunday, which is 5 weeks today. So when you think of it that way, you know, it's insanely close how quickly things are moving. So, you know, it's 11 weeks of the prep done already. Technically 12, because I started almost just after 17 weeks out. But granted, I know it hasn't been intense from the very start. It's not been intense. It's only just been intense for the past 2 weeks. So, but yeah, now I'm starting to feel it. And after, you know, I started prep the last weekend of April 2021, you know, it's getting there in terms of time, just how long I've been fixated on shows and fixated on competing. And it's the time itself that kind of, you know, gets you mentally. It's very draining, constantly stressing about a show. It's constantly on your mind. It's all I think about. It's literally, I don't care how cliche that is. It's literally all I think about, because it's, you know, as soon as you shift your mind from what is at hand, there's a possibility that you might fall off, or, you know, you're not being as optimal as possible, which is never a good thing, obviously. So, I've lost my train of thought. Fuck. Where are we? Aye, so we're on track, and that's the main thing. In terms of training, I just keep trying to stress to myself, like, don't be outworked ever in the gym. You know, I don't feel I can push any harder in the gym, to be honest. I mean, if you look at some of my training videos, you'll kind of see where I'm sitting intensity-wise. Every time Chris and I go into the gym, I think we fucking annihilate it. And that's the main thing. Because that should be your main driver of fat loss. You know, the main driver of fat loss shouldn't be cardio, low food, or drugs. You know, it should be the training. Your training should be fucking intense. It baffles me how poorly some competitors train. Some, I mean like a lot. I mean, a fucking majority of competitors, how poor their training is. It's actually shocking. And I'm just like, you know how much better your physique would be and your placings would be if you train properly, or you put a bit more graft into your training. And obviously, it's when the energy starts dipping, that's when, you know, training really goes out the window for some people. That should be the time where you know you need to just harness something, you know, that aggression for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, and ensure that the training is going as optimally as possible. Go and vegetate after the session, vegetate before the session, you know, feel like death then. Zone in and make sure that the energy you do have is being applied to the session itself. And I guarantee you're going to look better for it. So, or your progress is going to be a little bit faster. Might not feel better. Because right now, I'm starting to notice like lingering things. It's always my hamstrings. I always have hamstring DOMs all the time. I'm always super stiff through the hamstrings. So, but yeah, just because you're tired, don't not do the drop set. Don't not do the rest pause sets. Don't do the 30 rep sets. You have to do these things. You fucking have to, because the person that wins in your class usually is doing them. So, you know, the thought of being outworked to me is just like a big fucking no-no. That is not happening. I'm not letting someone train harder than me. So that's kind of my mindset going into training just now. You know, you have to approach your training session thinking one set at a time. And if you need to, one rep at a time. Just ensure that the execution is pitch perfect and that you're not dropping, you know, efficiency across the session at any point. As soon as you start thinking, right, I need 6 exercises, 2 sets of those are to failure, this is gonna be fucking tough. But as soon as you start thinking like that, your session is gonna be lackluster. I feel you need to just keep your head zoned in and do the work that needs done within the sets, because that's where it fucking counts. You know, don't get to the show or the photo shoot or the whatever and think, fuck, I could have done more. I know I fucked up there. I know I fucked up there. I could have easily have worked harder. Don't do that to yourself. You know, it is torturous being at that point. I've been there. I've been there at the end of preps where I've been like, fuck, I shouldn't have cheated that day, or I shouldn't have done this and that. In the grand scheme of things, would I have done much? Probably not, but when it's chronic overtraining or chronic cheating, then obviously you're not going to be in good condition. So, not overtraining, sorry, chronically undertraining. I don't even know if I said that, whatever. So, but no, everything's kind of just taking it day by day. I feel like I'm just repetitive with these vlogs. I think it's sometimes why I get a bit demotivated to do them, because I just feel like I'm talking the same shit. But I know a lot of people appreciate kind of my thoughts and opinions and how things are going, especially for such a big show. But that's kind of the way it is, you know, for me. I'm excited to compete, 100%. I can't wait to stand on that stage. There's no doubt about it in my mind that it's going to be a good day. I'm going to enjoy the weekend. I'm going to enjoy the process of flying over, getting tanned, carbon up, whatever. And then afterwards, you know, it's going to be even better. You know, we're going to go to the pro shows, the Arnold, go see all the top bodybuilders in the world. Obviously, Reagan wants to see all the top bikini girls and whatnot. And then we're in New York for 3 days after it. So, you know, there's a lot of exciting things coming across that weekend and that week. And it's just a case of staying focused. You know, the pain of hunger and the pain of the lack of energy isn't going anywhere soon. So you might as well just, you know, deal with it, basically. It's going to be there regardless. So there's no point in trying to hide it. Hide it in sense of, right, I'm going to cheat, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to moan, or whatever. Just crack through it and get it done. So that's kind of the update from where I am. 6 weeks out, Arnold Classic USA. And yeah, I'll try not to miss a week again. Cheers, guys.